Hey everyone, James here again. The first rock festival to take place since coronavirus swept the nation in March of 2020 has been announced, and we need to talk about it. On June 19th, the Q&Z Event Center in Ringle, Wisconsin announced a 3-day metal and hard rock festival set to take place July 16th through 18th of 2020. Yes, you heard that right, 2020. The 3-day event, which is being sponsored by 107.5 The Rock FM, is being billed as a mini festival, and it features some pretty big names, including Static X, Adelita's Way, Dope, Boba Flex, and more. Tickets are not on sale yet and no price point has been given, but it's safe to say the news of this event happening is causing a big stir in the rock and music communities. And it's not hard to understand why. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we would love for concerts to return, but we want to feel safe doing so, and we want to know that the people we love will be safe if we choose to go out into a crowded place. Right now, due to the coronavirus, that cannot be guaranteed. The whole reason that we don't have live music right now is because the people that know as much as anyone can know about the coronavirus tell us that it's not safe to do so. And while some states are allowing live music to take place, those events are relatively small and there's no real big rock acts taking the stage yet. Primarily because things like moshing and crowd surfing and all of the classic elements of a rock show just can't happen, at least not in a safe way, at this moment in time. Now, when this event was announced, it was called the Herd Immunity Festival, and that drew a lot of criticism from the rock community and really pop culture as a whole. Herd immunity, for those that don't know, refers to, in this instance, a whole bunch of people willingly making themselves sick in order to develop the antibodies needed to fight off the coronavirus. Now, there are several reasons why calling a music festival that is a bad idea. For starters, it's basically saying if you come to this event, you're willing to get sick, but you're doing it so that you and everyone around you can eventually not catch the coronavirus. But more importantly, we don't know that you can't catch the coronavirus more than once. Some studies show that once you have the antibodies, you won't get sick again, but other studies show different results. And until we know the answer, it's not really wise to encourage people to make themselves sick. This isn't the chicken pox, where if a child gets it, some parents will bring around their kids so that everyone gets it and then we never have to deal with it again. Medical professionals don't think that idea is safe, and they certainly don't think the idea of herd immunity in the instance of coronavirus is a good idea whatsoever. Again, that's why we don't have concerts in general right now. The early criticism for the name led one of the bands on the initial bill, Nonpoint, to drop off the show altogether, which seems to show a few cracks in the foundation of this idea. Because yes, artists are willing to play, but they're not 100% sure that it's the best idea just yet. All the backlash led the organizers to eventually state that there are social distancing measures being put in place. For example, the event grounds can hold 10,000 people, but this event is being limited to just 2,000 people, so you will be able to spread out. Now, there's no mention of whether or not they're going to enforce that, or if they're going to ban things like moshing and crowd surfing, as I previously mentioned. No matter what they decide to do, there is a risk inherent here. And while I'm all for people having the right to choose whether or not they want to put themselves in a situation where they may get sick, we have to think of the bigger ripple effect of what's happening here. Because if 2,000 people go to this event, and even 100 of them suddenly get COVID afterwards, every person that individual, those 100 individuals come in contact with, may also get COVID. So it's not just the people who are attending the event that are risking possibly getting this disease and maybe even dying from it. It's everybody that those individuals will interact with in the weeks following the event. And that's the scary thing that we just don't know how to control just yet. That said, I think the fact that this event even exists points to what we're going to be talking about more and more in the months to come. People are sick of isolation. They're sick of the coronavirus. They're sick of wearing masks in public and not being around large groups of people. They're sick of not having live music. And there's always going to be people out there who are willing to try to meet the demands of the public. So if there are people who want to go to concerts, there will be somebody else who's willing to put on a concert. And they will argue that it is their right to do so and for people to buy tickets to attend those events, which is inarguably true, but there are moral repercussions here. There are communal repercussions for these events taking place that I feel should be considered. If it is a success and if all 2,000 tickets sell, it will not be long before more events get announced and people keep pushing back against the idea of isolation. What we need to remember is that science, including the coronavirus, doesn't care about how we feel about things. Just because we want coronavirus to be over or just because we want to go back to having concerts doesn't mean that we can. It doesn't mean that we should. It means that we're always going to have a risk until a vaccine exists. Now, I'm going to continue covering this story because it seems to be developing by the day. In fact, we made this video earlier this morning, and before we could post it, a whole bunch of different things happened that completely changed the structure and format of the discussion. So if there are more updates in the future, I'm going to try to bring them to you right here on Music Biz. So go ahead and click that subscribe button down below. This channel is all about surviving and understanding the music industry. And right now, in the age of COVID, it's more important than ever that we're all on the same page with the information available and the direction we're headed as an industry. Moving together as a whole is the best way to ensure that everyone stays safe and everyone gets back to work and the quote-unquote normal way of doing things as soon as possible. So click that button and join us on this journey. And if you have already done so, then you have my sincere thanks. So I want to end this the way that we end every episode because I feel it's a message that is now more important than ever. And that is that I want you to take care of yourself because you deserve it.